Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Cyber Angel Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for post-Legendary Duelist Season 2. With the release of the latest Legendary Duelist pack, we were given reprinted support for the Cyber Angel deck, so I felt, basically an update was due for the fact that it's much easier to gain a good amount of the different cards, especially the ones from the Sisters of the Rose booster pack, which a lot of them were foils in that set, just made a lot easier to get in this booster set. They were also, some of them reprinted in the Dragons of Legend completed series booster set, so just a good amount of different ways to get a lot of the different Cyber Angels and make this deck, which was Alexis Rhodes' main go-to deck in the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX anime. A really fun one that focuses on all the different Cyber Angel ritual monsters we have. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for our Cyber Angel ritual monsters, we're running 3 Cyber Angel Ben 10. I also want to focus on just the pure version for the Cyber Angels. I may consider building a Drytron version in the future, but I found the Cyber Angel pure version just a lot more fun and also just, more affordable for those that don't have all the Drytron staples. But with Cyber Angel Benton, you can ritual this card with Machine Angel Ritual. If this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original defense in the graveyard. If this card is distributed, you can add 1 light fairy type monster from your deck to your hand. So the main use of Benton, it's great when you can do that damage on the field, but the tribute effect, for the fact that it can be used from hand or field, benefits for searching out a bunch of different light fairy type monsters we run in the deck and then can use for other additional plays when we summon them out onto the field. So you definitely want to run 3 of this card for its sole search power, but then just the additional options for searching out other cards is a big use for sure. I also run 2 Cyber Angel Dakini. Now, I don't have Natasha in the deck, so if you want to run 1 Natasha, you can either take out Dakini or Idaten for one of those spots. More than likely would recommend Dakini just for a Natasha, more situational with the plays, but Dakini is definitely good. You can ritual summon this card with Machine Angel Ritual, which all the Cyber Angels follow suit with. And if it's a ritual summon, you can make your opponent send 1 monster they control the graveyard, their choice. If a ritual monster you control attacks a defense monster, you inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent, and once per turn during your end phase, you can target 1 ritual monster or Machine Angel Ritual in your graveyard and add to your hand. So definitely one of the better Cyber Angels just for the recycle power, but also being able to give other cards that provide additional burn damage, piercing battle damage as well, is a big plus for sure. It is a level 8 monster, so a little more difficult to ritual summon, but we are running the incantations in the deck just to assist with that, and their high levels that they have themselves. I also run 2 Cyber Angel Idaten. You can ritual summon this card with Machine Angel Ritual. If this card's ritual summon, you can add 1 ritual spell card from your deck or graveyard to your hand. And if this card's distributed, you can make all ritual monsters you control gain 1,000 attack. So Idaten having an additional 1,000 attack is definitely scary, but the boost will definitely come in handy for Benton, because most of the time with the destruction, you can't get over much with 1,800 attack. You need that boost that Idaten can provide to at least hit over a good amount of different monsters your opponent has on the field. And then for some of the bigger Cyber Angel monsters, I also run 1 Cyber Angel Vrash and 1 Cyber Angel Izana. With Izana having the option where they both summon out with Machine Angel Ritual. If this card's ritual summon, you can make your opponent send 1 spell or trap they control the graveyard. Then when they attacks and destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can activate this effect. This card can make a second attack, and also with this card, once per turn, when an opponent activates a card effect that targets a Cyber Angel ritual monster you control, you can shuffle 1 ritual monster from your graveyard into the deck, and if you do, destroy 1 card your opponent controls. The recycle power, since we do run a good amount of different Cyber Angel monsters, is just great for that consistency to at least have more and more monsters to go into. And with Vrash being the higher level one, with Izana being a level 8 Cyber Angel, just like Dakini, you can focus on the bigger plays with Vrash, just like the incantations, like I said, but also being able to have this card with the ritual play. If it's ritual summon, you can destroy as many face-up monsters your opponent controls as possible that were special summoned from the extra deck. And if you do, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent for each one. So this is just great for that burn damage, also being one of the stronger Cyber Angel monsters. And once per turn during either player's turn where a card effect is activated that would destroy a card on the field, you can shuffle 1 ritual monster from your graveyard into the deck and negate the activation, sharing, just like with Izana, the protection plays that it can provide. And once again, if you wanted to add Natasha into the deck, you can either take out Dakini or 1 Idaten. I would prefer probably the 1 Dakini, just having different options with all your search power with Benton to add any of the other ones to your hand. For some of the other support for the Cyber Angels, I also run 2 Cyber Petite Angel, another fairy that you can search out with your Benton. If this card is summoned, you can add 1 Cyber Angel monster or Machine Angel ritual from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn, but also it doesn't provide much for the ritual plays. That's why I'm only running 2 of it. The fact that you have to, you can summon this card quite easily, but still you have to rely on that for any of the searches for your monsters or spells is great, because then you can just set up the incantation monsters. You don't have to rely on any extra deck plays, and Cyber Petite Angel can still be the 2 levels missing from any of the incantations you might have summoned out onto the field if you were to go for some of your bigger boss monster Cyber Angel monsters. I also run 2 Cyber Egg Angel. With this one, if it's summoned, you can add 1 Machine Angel spell or Ritual Sanctuary from your deck to your hand. So having the different searches with this card is the big one for sure. Ritual Sanctuary being our field spell to go into, and being another fairy light monster, it's searchable off of Benton, which a good amount of the different monsters we run in the deck follow the same pattern. I reduced the numbers of these cards though. Once again, my biggest weakness I found, I had the search with these cards, but they just weren't providing as much for the high level. I like the search option, and just the fact that they can be searched out themselves is a big plus, but just like I said, you need more of the higher level monsters to benefit from actually ritual summoning them out. That can be solved with Maju being a level 4 monster, a little better, but also when it's normal summon or flip summon, you can select 1 ritual monster or ritual spell and add it to your hand. So this, you have options for any of the spells or any of the monsters. You're not limited to any of those searches, so it's a definite 3 of in the deck. And once again, it's a light fairy type monster, so another search for Benton, which can handle a good amount of different cards that we do run in the deck for all of our plays. And then going into the incantation lineup, I run 2 Incantation Candle, 2 Incantation Talismandra, 2 Pencil Plume, and 2 Bookstone. I considered 3 Bookstone and 1 Pencil Plume just for the graveyard recycle of Bookstone, but Daikini provides a pretty good amount of recycle, so I decided to go with 2, 2, 2, and 2 for all of these, just to balance out our plays altogether. I'm not running Chalice Slime or anything like that. I want to focus more on just the Cyber Angel ritual plays for the deck, but these cards still provide a great setup, and it does limit you with your extra deck, but still plenty of rituals to go into to clear them off the field and then give you extra deck access. For some of the other fairy type monsters, for a little more of the power boost for your Cyber Angel monsters, I run 2 Honest, another light fairy, searchable off of Benton, but the damage boost especially comes in handy, just being able to take care of a good number of cards my opponent may have when I'm attacking with a card like Benton, or if they're attacking into one of my other monsters like Idotin. For some of the one-ofs for the deck, I run 1 Cyber Tutu Bomb. Now the biggest weakness of this is it is a warrior earth monster, but still great just to rely on that one-off tech of this card. If you didn't want to run this card in the deck at all, you can always boost up the numbers of Cyber Egg Angel or Petite Angel to 3 of numbers. I would more than likely recommend Petite Angel and then just taking out this card entirely. But the tribute of this card for a special summon on the field and then being able to tribute cards like Benton and get additional search is why I like running at least 1 of it. For some of the other fairy cards, I run 1 Vanity's Ruler, another search card, and limiting my opponent's special summons when I summon this card out onto the field, which I'll be tributing some of the monsters I set up on the field to use, and 1 Archlord Christia. Having exactly 4 fairy type monsters in the graveyard can be done pretty easily with just more recycling and adjusting the numbers in our graveyard of all of our fairy monsters. And you don't have to worry about the incantations because they're not fairies taking up those numbers. You have to focus on the other fairy type monsters we run and those numbers in the graveyard to summon this card out. And that is it for the monsters. We'll now move on to the spells. I run 3 Machine Angel Ritual, our main go-to spell. This card can be used to ritual summon any Cyber Angel Ritual monster. You must also tribute monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed the level of the ritual monster you ritual summon. And if a light monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect while this card's in your graveyard, you can banish this card instead. So we run 3 of it. The banish will take away from more ritual plays we could have done after we recycled this card from the graveyard with some of our incantations or our Cyber Angel monsters. But the protection definitely does come in handy for those cards, but also just the easiness of ritual summoning. We're not really limited to having the exact number on the field or just the resources. We can use the incantations, any of our other additional numbers to easily summon out these Cyber Angel monsters. I also run, just for a little additional ritual power, 1 Machine Angel Absolute Ritual. This can be used to ritual summon any Cyber Angel ritual monster. You must also tribute monsters from your hand or field and or shuffle fairy or warrior monsters from your graveyard and to the deck whose levels equal exactly, which is different, but we have a good variety of different levels in the deck as well. And the fact that it also says warrior means we're not limited to Tutubon for this play as well. And also the level adjustment can help if we want to summon out some of our other fairy boss monsters in the deck like Archlord Christia. And then I also run 2 Ritual Sanctuary. The field spell, you can discard 1 spell card to add 1 light ritual monster or ritual spell from your deck to your hand. You can shuffle any number of spell cards from your graveyard into the deck, then target 1 light fairy type monster in your graveyard whose level equals the number of cards you shuffled into the deck. Special summon it. So with this, your main go-to thing, and why I'm not running Monster Reborn in the deck, is because this card just helps for that play altogether. Being able to summon back to the field Cyber Petite Angel and Egg Angel from the graveyard after using them is a big help for sure with this card. Just putting them back onto the field to reuse again is a great one for sure, but I only run 2 of it because it's searchable, and for the fact that it doesn't provide an additional search. You do have to discard a spell card to activate this card, which we do run a good number of spells, but having to rely on that means you're taking the risk altogether for that setup. And I also run 1 Merciful Machine Angel. You tribute 1 Cyber Angel Ritual Monster from your hand or field and draw 2 cards, then place 1 card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. So it's not a big plus, but you can benefit from the tribute of your different Cyber Angel monsters, whether it be Idaten or Benton, especially for the boost and search. So this card definitely does come in handy for that play. And for some of the more generic ritual setup, I run the 3 Preparation of Rites, just being able to add 1 level 7 or lower ritual monster from your deck to your hand. You can't search out Izana or Vrash, obviously, but being able to access Idaten or Benton is a big plus for sure, since those are the ones you mainly want to go into to use for tribute for some of your other plays, or just, like I said, searching them out if you just want to go for that ritual play specifically. And I also run, lastly, to finish off these spells, just the 1 Terraforming. This is for the Ritual Sanctuary. Quicker add from the deck to hand, and if you add it with that, you can then save Cyber Egg Angel to add a Machine Angel spell to your hand also. Not limiting with the Machine Angel spells, because we can also add the Absolute Ritual if we wish, along with the original Machine Angel Ritual. If you want to run Monster Reborn just to search out the Cyber Petite Angel and Egg from your graveyard, that could be another option instead of Terraforming, but player preference at that point also. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra deck. I run 1 Hippo Shenengan. The extra deck is pretty much generic, just some cards you can go into if you have the options and you're not limited with the incantations. But 1 Hippo Shenengan, 1 Nightmare Cerberus, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Underclock Taker, 1 IP Masquerena, 1 Barricade Board Blocker, 1 Cross Sheep, 1 Security Dragon, 1 Link Karibo, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Borlo Dragon, and 1 Access Code Talker for the Link monsters. And for the Xyz monsters, just for the fact that with Manju level 4 options, so I run 1 Baguska, 1 M7 with the level 6 Benton and Idaten, and the 1 38 Hope Harbinger with your Izana and your Dakini. Rarely go into these options, but they mostly come up if my opponent stops the effects of those cards on the field, and I just need some other options to use on the field as well. As for some of your main go-to plays, Search Power is a big part of the deck in setting up the ritual plays. So if you summon out your incantations, depending on which ones you summon out, will give you the additional search. And then having that set up in your hand to use as well with this Kandal and Talismandra on the field gives you access to all the different ritual monsters as long as you have the Machine Angel Ritual in your hand to summon them out, and then going for those big monster plays as well, and then having the additional boost depending on what you tribute for those cards. But the big play also to rely on also when you have your Machine Angel Ritual is also focusing on which of the Cyber Angels you want to summon out if you were to tribute one of the other ones. And let's say also with your hand and your search, if you have your Cyber Petite Angel on the field, being able to normal summon this card out, when it's summoned to add a Cyber Angel monster, you can also have access to your Cyber Angel Dakini or your Izana, both being level 8 monsters, and having the level 2 monster on the field along with the level 6 monster you opened up with, depending on which one it was, to equal out to the level 8 play of Daikini. Being able to then activate Machine Angel Ritual, attributing the Benton and Petite Angel for this play would give you a Daikini on the field, and then allowing Benton to have the search for a good number of any fairies we run. You can search out Honest, you can even go for Vandy's Ruler if you had the one additional monster to summon this card out on the field, and then if you had just a few more fairies in your graveyard to set up for Archlord Christia is all an option to go into, but just preference one again, if you took away your normal summon already, then you can save the Manju for next turn, or even just the Cyber Egg Angel for an additional search, or you can search out more ritual monsters to use and go into with that search. But if you go with the boosted play with Idaten, giving the Daikini the 3700 attack is a more going second better play with that one. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Definitely going to be working on some more decks from the Legendary Duelist Season 2, including Blue Eyes, Black Wings, all of the very popular ones from the set, so definitely look forward to that. But until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.